So let us begin. So Photoshop. A lot of you have heard about Photoshop. Who can tell me something about it and something more about Photoshop as we start? Anything about Photoshop? You know?
Okay. Well,
yeah, Dela.
Well, what I heard basically it's used to edit pictures and subsequently got to know that it could be used to do other flyers and things. But I think basically
okay, that's fine. Not to waste time. Photoshop is basically photo editing and graphic designing software. But it can do more, as Dela said, can do more. So basically that's Photoshop for you. And it's been developed for Adobe or for Mac OS and Windows. You know? So those of you using Mac and Windows, you can use Photoshop on your machine to do your design. Yes. Now let me zoom in and share my screen and let's start the whole show. Yeah, today we're going to talk about Workspace, how to use Workspace. We're going to talk about layers. We're going to talk about smart objects and blend mode, as I put on the flyer. So let me share my screen with all of us. Then we will take it from there. Okay. Can you all see my screen now? I need your feedback. Can you all see my screen?
Yes. I can.
Cool. I've already opened Photoshop. I'm going to open another one for you guys to see. When I was starting Photoshop, my difficulty was how to set my canvas. When we say canvas, this whole place is here. Those of you who have not used Photoshop before, it's assumed that some of you have not used Photoshop before. But this is the interface of Photoshop. So this is the canvas. The white space here. This is where we design. So those of you who have not set a canvas before, this is where you set your canvas. Actually, when you open Photoshop, you see you will see something like this. This one is Photoshop 2020. Those of you using 2019 is similar to this. So when you see this, you have options to set your canvas. On the right section of this particular whole page, this is where you set your width. This is where the canvas width. They have already set custom canvas here for you to use. So if you want to have some print stuff, these are templates that you can use. But if we go to the custom one, the one that you want to set for yourself, this is where you do it. So now, I normally work in inches, others do in centimeters, millimeters, and in pixels. So let me use pixels. Then maybe let me set this one to 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. I will explain what pixels are along the line. So when I do this and I set the canvas opens. Now, how do you control this canvas?
Hello.
Am I going too fast?
Not that. Some of us are using Windows, and
yes.
I think it's mine. I don't know how you even go about it. If you can run us, you go to file, you go to this, and that's.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you, Dela. All right. You go to file. If you want to set a new canvas, now you see I've opened to. Okay, let me close this one. Good. I've closed them. So create new, or I can go to new file, and go to new. Then it opens this dialog box for me. So I have custom canvas here that I can select, just open. You get it? They all have their sizes, right? So this is an A5 flyer. If I want to design an A5 flyer, let me select it. It gives me the dimensions here in millimeters. You get it? This one is the resolution. Very important. If you are setting a canvas and that particular artwork that you are going to design is going to go to the print house for printing, then you need to set a resolution that will work with it. If your resolution is very small, when they print out your work, it doesn't come out well. You see that it will pixelate, it will look blurred, sort of. So depending on the size of the material that you are printing will determine the resolution that you set. If the material is that big, like the big banners, those ones you can set a smaller resolution. When the material is smaller, then your resolution should be bigger. So in that opposite direction, if what you're printing is smaller, for instance, a call card, you are printing a call card, you see the size of a call card or a business card, that means your resolution should be bigger. When I'm designing a call card, I normally set my resolution to 400 or 500. And when I'm designing, my normal resolution default set that I use is 300. So that is for the resolution. You can change this one to either pixel. When you change it to pixel, it changes. The dimension changes. It gives you in pixel, in centimeters, it will give you in centimeters. The default was in what? Millimeters. So in millimeters, it means that 148 millimeters is equivalent to 5.827 inches. So that's basically it. So if you are doing an artwork for somebody, normally what we ask is what size you want. If they tell you to design an A5 flyer, so you just come here, you pick your A5, and you just click on OK to set your canvas. But there's something I didn't do that I want to show you. When I go back, anytime you are setting your canvas, make sure you give the artwork that you are designing. For instance, KTH lesson 1. Then I click on OK. Then you see the name that you give appears at the top here. So that when you are saving your work, you don't rename it again. Are we okay? Della, is your question answered? Hello? Della? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. My question is answered.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. People are trying to log in. So I have not clicked on this. I wasn't touching. All right. Okay. So now let's go on. The first thing on the list that we are going to talk about is Workspace. I think that was the first thing on the flyer, right? So, okay, we talked about what Photoshop is, and the next thing is what is the Workspace. Now, when you come here at the top right, those of you using Photoshop 2019 and below, you see that it's written this here as essential. When I click on this button, you see that it's written essential. These are the things you can use Photoshop for. The essential is a particular workspace. That's the default workspace for Photoshop. We have the 3D workspace. When I click on the 3D workspace, it takes me to the 3D mode, where I would have all the features here to design an artwork in 3D. When I go to the motion workspace, it gives me, let me bring this one on top. It gives me a timeline where I can animate something, a text or whatever artwork that I've designed. I can animate whatever thing that is on the canvas. When I go to painting, then it gives me all the brushes that I can use to draw or paint something on the canvas. So you can use Photoshop for painting as well. Photography. So photography will give you all the photographic stuff. That is how to change, edit the image and all that. Then graphic and web is also another option, another workspace that you can use. But normally, when you are working in Photoshop, those of you who are going to start, you will start in Essential. And as time goes on, you will know how to set your own workspace. And you can do that by going to, for instance, if I want to name my workspace, I can go to Windows. Bella, Windows, today I should give you the procedure. Okay? Windows, workspace. So Windows, you go to workspace. Then you can, from this, you can create new workspace. Then you can give your workspace a name. For instance, KTH, lesson 1, and save it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So basically, this is the workspace. And for instance, you see these ones here. I have character here. I have paragraph here. This is the current workspace that I'm working in. I have not put a lot of things here, but you can, if you want to put, if you go to Windows, there are so many things you can put on your workspace. There are so many things, so many things. So if I pick properties, yes, very good. If I pick properties, I can add properties to my workspace here. So if I want to change something, the property on something that I'm working on, I just quickly come here and work on it. So most things here you can put on your workspace. You can put history. If you want to see the history of what you're doing, you can put history. I'll explain the history part also to you. You can put history on your workspace. Okay. All right. Good. So we are in our canvas now. Now, let's talk about workspace is done. Anybody has a question on workspace? Am I moving too fast? Those of you trying your hands on something at your end, am I moving too fast? So these are some basic information you need to know before you even get into designing. So you know how to have your way around Photoshop, that you will not struggle. So normally if you want to have a workspace setting or something, this is where you go, Windows. You go to Windows. You go to Windows to have your workspace settings done. So now I have set my workspace, and now let's zoom in into layers. Good. So what are layers? In a layman's term, what are layers? Can somebody help us? In a layman's term, what are layers?
If I don't know if I'm supposed to explain it in a very simple term, I would say is a layer is like a part, let's say a part of something. No, yeah, it's like a part of something later. So a layer is like a part of something. That's what I'm thinking. So you can build on it, and it can be more layers.
Perfect. 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 You are not wrong. Perfect.
Thank
you. When we were young, we were taught in our grade, they call something the soil profile, where in a glass jar, recently we saw the wache in a jar, right? So wache in layers, the gari, the wache of the leaves and all that. How many of you saw it? I believe a lot of you saw that. So basically, those are layers. You need to understand layers in order to be able to work in Photoshop very well. Layers, very important. And these are the layers here. Let me Let me move the layers up. Okay, so good. So this is where all the layers happen for me to design in Photoshop. When I want to create new layers, this is what I click on. Am I right? Can you see?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so we have layer 0, we have layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. These are stacks. Basically, layers are layers. So many layers are layers, just like Lily said. And layers are stacks of things, just like the way we fold our things and put them in a workbook. So when you are designing, you want to have something come before something. You don't put all the artwork on one layer. Let me set an example for us. Okay, so when I pick a brush, sorry, let me pick a simple brush here. Yeah. Okay. When I pick this brush and I want to paint something, it seems the opacity is okay. So what you see? All right. I will take you through these things well, so don't worry. Okay. So when I pick a brush and I paint something, this is on layer 0. When I go here and I change the color to something else, so it seems I should make it very sharp so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, good. So let me choose different layers and select this one. Good. All right. So let me use layer 4. When I paint this, yes, I paint this. Then I go to layer 5, change the color to something different, and I paint. And I go to layer, this is layer 3. I've been selecting and choosing new one. So, and I change the color, and I paint. You realize that this color is beneath this green, right? And this one is on top of them all. You can move layers into each other. That is, can rearrange your layers when you want to change the position. So you can move this particular layer on top of all. So you see this one is above, this one is in the middle, this one is at the bottom. But I can create all aside these ones. I can create all the colors also on one layer. I can create all the colors, change the color to something like this. I can create all the colors also on one layer. I change the color to this. Oh no, I want to change it to this color. So you realize that with this one, when I want to move a specific color, it becomes difficult to move. Why? Because all the things that I've done are on one layer. So it's like it's seeing it as one. The whole thing is seen as one because I put all on one. But if I want to move these ones individually, because they are on separate layers, it's easier to work with. Good. So these are layers and how to work in separate layers. When you want to design something and have independence on the layers, you create different layers and work in there. You don't put all the things that you are doing on one layer. If you do that and you want to change something, you can't do that because it will see everything as one, just like you see in this particular layer. All right, now let me delete this one. Now, with the background layer, normally when you open an artwork, for instance, let me go back to, let me open something. Let me open something.
Uncle Lawrence.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to be a stubborn student. How do you duplicate the layers? Because when I opened mine.
Yes, that you want to duplicate. I will teach you that. Don't worry. Let me open something in Photoshop right now.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So this, when I open an image directly within Photoshop, this is where we were working before. I've created a new one. When we open something, an image like this, you realize that you see it as a background layer, and this one you can create a layer on top. If I want to duplicate this background layer, just like please, your name, the one who asked the question. So a lot of people have left. Hello.
This is Della. Della.
Okay, fine. Okay. Is it that they don't have stable internet?
It's Della.
Okay, all right. So if I want to duplicate my layer, what I do is I click on the layer and use the shortcut key Control J. You see that I have a duplicate layer here? Control J. You select the layer and use the shortcut key Control. If you are using Windows, it's Control J. If you are using Mac, it's Command J. These combination keys help you duplicate your layer. Hello, Bella, are you okay?
Yes, yeah, I'm okay. I've gotten it.
Good. So Control J or Command J will help you duplicate your layer. So basically, that's for layers. Now let's zoom in. How do you mask a layer? How do you mask a layer? So I'm working in a layer, and I would want to clean this. I would want to clean part of this. I can use either the eraser tool. I'm going to pick. Sorry, I'm going to pick the brush. This is the eraser tool. This is the eraser tool. So I'm working in a layer, and I would want to clean part of this because this is a rasterized. When I drew this one, it's in a rasterized format. I can easily wipe it clean. You see that?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Using my eraser. Yes. So if you want to clean this now, when I clean and I would want to go back, for instance, I've gone through about 50 steps ahead, but I realized that no, I don't need to clean. So I want the shape back. The moment I clean with the eraser, I wouldn't be able to get it back again. So the best thing to do here, is to mark layer mask. Now I'm on layer mask. The best thing to do here is to mask your layer, this particular layer, by clicking on the mask here. You can click on this one, or you can go to layer mask and click on because I have already done it. So let me go to another layer. So I go to layer mask and review all. Now somebody will ask me, what is this mask about? Let me use an example. You know, when we were young, those of you who did art, we used to trace. If you remember, you can use oil. You pour oil on a sheet of white paper, right? Or kerosene. When I was young, I remember we used to do this. We pour kerosene or oil on white paper, and we put it on the art, the thing that we want to draw in a book or something. You just put it on it. It becomes so visible. It becomes so visible. Then you take your pencil and draw. Make sure you finish growing before the oil dries up. And people will see it and say, hey, you are good. They don't know the technique behind your art. So basically, it's something like you put a white stain or a white sheet of paper on this particular layer. That is how it seems. It seems you put a white sheet of paper. So when I click on Alt and this, I click on the mask, you realize that it covers, you see the mask itself. So when I pick my brush and with layers, black, always black. When I paint black, it's height and white reduce. This is where you change it. If you click on the X to toggle between the black and white. When I click on the X key, when I click on this, you see that it cleans it. So when I click on the off and this, and as this is selected, and I select black, because the green, you see that the green is wiping off. When I toggle between it again in white, it comes back. Have you seen it? Let me select the one on top so that you can see properly. So the layer mask, the mask itself must be selected. When it is white, white always reveals and black height. When I click on all, you see that where I am hiding, and black is hiding this particular portion which has been painted. So where I am hiding, when I click on Alt and the mask, it's just like the white paper that has some shade on it, like where you poured the oil, so you can see what is beneath. When you pour the oil, it gives you access to see what is beneath the paper, the white sheet. That's exactly what I have done. So when I click on Alt and the layer, the mask, it takes me to this. When I click Alt and the layer again, you can see what is happening on the canvas. If you want to bring it back, all you have to do is just toggle between the black and white here and paint it again. So with this one, you work on a particular layer undistractedly. You don't destroy the particular layer by using the eraser tool or something. When you use the eraser to clean, you are not going to get it back again. That is, this is gone through a whole lot of procedure. You are not going to get it back again. So basically, this is for layers. Now, let me demonstrate something to you in an artwork where we use this kind of layers. I believe that's what you guys are waiting for, to see a practical something.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is for you to understand. Now let's zoom into action. Now,
Uncle Lawrence.
Yes, Della.
Before that, is it necessary that you mark all the layers if you are working?
It's the best to name your layer. For instance, this particular green, I double click to name it, maybe lemon green. Lemon green. You can name all your layers.
I mean, mark the layers.
Mark it
as in where you have mark the layers. Like the demonstration you gave where you have a copy of your black and white in a simple size so that you don't lose.
Sorry. Hey, this is hell. Not be small, you repair the table before me. Hell.
Inform the person to.
That's a new name.
Hello.
That's a new name. So I'm doing it to me.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Lily.
Oh my God, so sorry.
I mean that those layers, do you necessarily need to mark all the layers so that, for instance, when you have a change you like do a change, you can you can re-get or reverse everything you've done again. More of, I don't know if I'm using the technical things.
When you say mark, I don't get you properly.
So for instance, when you go to your layer, you told us that you can what layer mask. Oh, okay. Can you? I was asking.
Okay, mask.
Yeah.
No. It depends on what you are doing.
Okay.
When you don't want to work undistractedly, that is when you mask it. But there are so many things you can do. Now, I didn't tell you this. You can hide a layer with the eye thing here. You can hide a layer. So if you don't want to see that particular layer, you can hide it. And if you don't want that layer to move, you can lock it with a padlock here. This padlock. You can lock the layer. So you realize that this particular background layer, always background layers are locked. So that when you are working, and by mistake, this thing, it is I selected the one on top. Let me delete all of them. So by mistake, when this is locked and you by hand, you see that it tells you that the current selected layer, the background layer, you cannot move a background layer or change its starting order. You get it?
All right.
So before you can move it, you have to unlock it by clicking on the padlock. So when I do that, I'm able to move it. And what you see beneath this small black and white or ash and white thing, you see beneath, there's nothing. It means nothing. It tells you that this is transparent. So when I save this image, when I do this and I save this thing in PNG, you will see this particular portion as transparent.
Okay.
Right. In a PNG file, it will be transparent. So, for instance, you design a logo and you want it to be transparent, you have to make sure that the background layer is even hidden.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically that's it. And you can do a lot on your layers. You can change the opacity of your layer, so to make it translucent. See? So it's like a see-through something. So when I do this, you see what is beneath when the opacity is reduced. But when it is 0, it disappears. When it is 100, it's 100% opaque. The film works the same way, but it also has a difference with the opacity, which we will treat along the line. Is that okay? You also have blend modes we use on layers. For instance, you see that anytime you select a particular blend mode, you get a layer change into something else. So you can select a particular blend mode here, it gives you an effect. So we are going to design something right now in this short while for you to see how all these things work. Okay. All right. Now let's zoom into a practical set. Now let me select all these. Good. So let me set my background. Let me open this image in Photoshop. Okay, good. So I have an image here open. Good. So now all that I've talked about, let's demonstrate it. When I pick an image and drop it in Photoshop here, this wall, I want to have an effect done here. Good. So I want to have this effect done on the layer beneath. I can use blend mode. So I can just pick a blend mode like screen. Have you seen? Now you can see the window. Previously, when it was normal, you couldn't see the window, right? You can change it to multiply. You see the effect you are getting. So you are getting the brick wall on the wall before and after. Do you see the effect? Before and after. Do you see the effect? You see the effect? Good.
Yeah, you see.
Yes. So for this this style, this effect gives you access to do a whole lot on a particular layer. So when I choose multiply,